And really wanted to touch on this because it was so interesting to me. Your time in Stampede Wrestling under Stu Hart up there in Canada. I just wanted to get your opinion on working for Stu Hart and working for Stampede Wrestling.
Didn't like it very much. It's strange you should say that because I'm doing an interview with Bruce Hart on Saturday. You know, similar to what I'm doing now. I'm doing one of those like Saturday afternoon with Bruce Hart, and I haven't spoken to him. I haven't spoken to Bruce since I actually left that territory all those years ago. And the thing is, they particularly asked for Linda to be part of the interview as well. And I just said to Linda a few minutes ago, funnily enough, I said, that's going to be strange because Bruce would not talk to Linda. He would not. I tell you what happened. I mean, Linda had never been a valet before. She was a wrestler. She wrestled in Britain as Blackfoot Sue, and she also wrestled in Britain as Miss Aquarius. But we called her Angel Dust when we went to when we went to wrestle in Canada, and that is the first time she was ever my valet. So to give himself an excuse for losing the match, Bruce said to Linda, "Listen," he said, "I'll chase Adrian out of the ring, and when I do, and my back's turned to you, hit me with one of those folding chairs." Well, Linda had never done anything like that before. And I said, yeah, you know, make sure you sort of hit him properly and all. I mean, she hit him properly. I mean, I think he had about 17 stitches in the back of his head. I mean, she laid that thing into him. But after that, he would never speak directly to Linda again. And I said, like I said, just a few minutes ago, I was saying to her, I said, this is going to be funny on Saturday if they particularly want you in there. I said, it was like about 35 years ago last time Bruce actually spoke to you. It's funny because he'd be standing in front of me and he'd say like, oh, okay, like blah, 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 blah. Tell Linda, like I said, tell Linda to do this, tell Linda to do that. Linda would be standing right next to me. So I put my hand up and said, hold it a minute, Bruce. And I'd repeat to Linda exactly what Bruce had just said while he's standing there patiently waiting. And then he'd say, yeah, and then could you tell her to do, Linda, would you do this and would you do that? Well, she's standing right there. He never spoke directly to Linda again after she hit him on the head with that chair.
That is great story. And obviously, you know, you wrestled Bruce Hart there in Canada, and you also wrestled Davey Boy Smith, and of course the legendary Dynamite Kid. What was it like working with the British Bulldog and with Dynamite Kid?
Well, the only time I was in the ring with Dynamite Kid, he was my tag partner because he was a villain up there, and Davey Boy Smith was a babyface. But I'd have to say that Bruce Hart and Davey Boy Smith were my favorite opponents while I was in that territory. I wrestled with Brett. I never wrestled with Brett in Canada. I wrestled with Brett in the Hanover tournaments. It was me that actually got the promoter to accept Bret Hart over there because he wasn't well known outside Canada back in those days as he got to be, you know.
What was it like wrestling Bret?
He was a good wrestler. I really enjoyed wrestling with him.
And what was your opinion of Stu? Because everybody has their opinion on him, saying it can be a little crazy.
Never liked it. I tell you what, it was really difficult to get any money out of him, and he was the crudest. He was one of the crudest bloody people I've ever met in my life. You talk to him, about something entirely well. I can't give you a good story actually without sort of without being disgusting on the radio. I don't really want to do that. But it was like, well, you know, Stu, I need more money if I'm going to stay here. Well, you're not exactly gargantua. I said, listen, I don't want to be gargantua. Gargantua. I don't sell quantity. I sell quality. Well, did you hear about this chimpanzee that? I mean, that's the sort of thing he did. I mean, he sort of changed the subject and all that. I mean, and that is the reason I left there and went to Germany, because I tried to. German promoter came over, and I was the only one I was interested in, and wanted me to bring me back over to do the Hanover tournaments, and I didn't want to do it at that time. I mean, you know, as far as I was concerned, I'm finished with Europe. I've come to Canada. I want to go from Canada. I want to come into the States. You know, that's what I want to do. I mean, as far as I was concerned, I was finished with Europe now. I mean, after working for Stu for a while, I needed some serious money. But I tried to. I said, "Listen, Stu, if you don't give me," I said, "if you don't just about double my wages," I said, "I'm going to go and work for Kaiser in Germany." I said, "I'm going to go to his tournament," and he really didn't think I'd do it. And I didn't want to do it. But the thing is, he played my bluff, and the thing is, if I say I'm going to do something, I give somebody the ultimatum, then I was forced to go, really. He didn't want me to, but I was forced to go because I said I would if he didn't give me more money. And he wasn't willing to give me more money. So anyway, I went, and I really enjoyed it out there. But anyway, when they knew I was going, Bret Hart, you know, I'd never spoken to Bret Hart before. He was a baby face and a really kayfabed and all the rest of it. The first time he ever spoke to me, he asked me if I could get him in on a trip. So I spoke to Kaiser, and I told him that was part of the agreement. You know, if he wanted me to go there, then he'd have to take Bret. And then Neidhart asked me. So I got Neidhart over there as well. Then Keith Hart came and asked me. He said, "You got Bret and Neidhart over in." He said, "Do you think you can get me over?" I said, "I could." He said, "Will you?" I said, "No." He said, "Why not?" I said, "Because I don't like you."